This video is sponsored by BootDev. BootDev is a great way to learn back-end web development from start to finish, like Python, C, JavaScript. That's how they made Minecraft, baby. That's pretty sweet. And the smartest way to learn how to code is to make sure you don't get bored while you're learning. So they gamified it. You got quests, you got XP levels, achievements. It's basically a game that teaches you how to make other games. It's pretty sweet. And you can't learn how to code without actually doing what you'll do if you get a coding job, which is writing a lot of code and building real projects. So they have a bunch of fun, interactive things that you can get. All their content is free to read and watch in guest mode, but a paid membership unlocks the interactive features like that hands on coding, that progress tracking, and those game mechanics I was talking about earlier. Well, good news. Don't worry. I'm hooking you up. You can use the code Quips&Guac, no and you get 25% off your first purchase. So if you purchase a year, you get 25% off of that, or just 1 month, 25% off of that. And again, thanks to BootDev for sponsoring this video. Let's hop right back in. Today, we're building a deck where we try to secretly ask the other players out. So, of course, our commander is going to be Joda, the Unifier. He's all 5 colors. He's a 5/5. He's great. But enough about him. Before I send you in flirting with your other players, you need some hands-on experience, and I'll train you myself. So, the rest of this deck and the rest of this video is in the style of a dating simulator. Good luck, viewer. Good luck. Well, hello there. It is I, Joda, the Unifier. You can tell because we both have the funny purple thing around our neck. Anyway, before you go around flirting with your opponents at your game table, you'll need real-life practice, which is why there are 3 eligible bachelors who will teach you all about their favorite cards in Magic, as well as flirting with you and perhaps going on a date. You can select the different chapters from the timeline down below to go on different dates. There's the laboratory, the forest, and the manor. Good luck, everyone. May magic and love be the thing you're gathering.
Oh my, what is this? A guest? Welcome to my laboratory. Do you have any questions for me? My name is Izzet, but you can call me Izzy for short, even though syllabically they're the same. I love all kinds of spell slinging, swan singing, cantripping, all sorts of things. Have any more questions for me?
I am a big enjoyer of Myra the Magnificent. She's 2 and blue-red, my favorite colors, for a 2/4 human performer. You see, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from our hand, we open an attraction, just like how I'm slowly feeling an attraction to you. You can also pay X and tap to exile a target instant or sorcery with mana value X from our graveyard, and choose an attraction we control that doesn't have a midway counter on it. We'll then put a midway counter on it, and whenever we visit that attraction, we copy the exiled card. We can cast the copy without paying its mana cost. This lets us do more attraction things, because I love feeling attraction, which is why we have command performance. 1 and a blue allows us to open an attraction, or roll to visit our attractions, which will allow us to then use our midway countered attraction. It's a whole thing. It's really cool. Of course, there's also Monitor. 4 mana for a creature that enters and opens an attraction. I am feeling a lot of attraction to you right now. Seasoned Boutonniere. 3 mana enters and opens an attraction. What more could you want? Well, of course, besides all the attractions, I'm also a big fan of Folio of Fancies. I fancy them, and you're in my folio indeed. 1 and a blue, players have no maximum hand size, so we could always hold their hand if they need it. XX we can tap, each player draws X cards. That's pretty cool. Then 3 mana, each opponent puts a number of cards equal to the number of cards in their hand from the top of their library into their graveyard. This could mill somebody out, and that's one way to win. Of course, there's also Hearts on Fire. Oh boy, so mine is, I wonder if yours is also on fire as well. It can boost things in power and a little bit of toughness. And of course, there's Opera Love Song. 1 and a red for an instant, exile the top 2 of our library, and we can play those until our next end step. Or we buff up 1 or 2 target creatures. This could be really good if we put them on a midway counter. And those are all the cards I like. Have any more questions for me? Why, sure. I'd love to go on a date with you. And, well, if everything goes well tonight, perhaps we'll both increase our storm count. This was a great date. I really enjoyed the Tunnel of Love and also the information booth. Those were some of my favorite attractions. But let's be real. The attraction between you and me was what I enjoyed the most.
Well, well, well. It looks like we have a guest. Welcome to my manor. Have any questions for me? Oh, but of course. My name is Grayson Karlov, but most people just call me Gray. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And might I say, you're looking delicious this evening. Have any other questions for me? What cards do I like? Well, obviously, I'm a fan of Ride Guide. If you know what I'm saying, I can guide. Never mind. Anyway, it's 5 mana, but it opens an attraction between you and I, if you know what I'm saying. Same thing with Lifetime Pass Holder. I'd like to hold your pass for my entire lifetime, if you know what I'm saying. It's a black mana, but it enters the battlefield tapped, and when it dies, open an attraction. Whenever we roll to visit one of our many attractions, we may return Lifetime Pass Holder from our graveyard to the battlefield, continuing to make attractions. It all makes sense now, of course. Discourtesy Clerk is 4 mana, enters the battlefield, and opens an attraction. Although, at the beginning of our end step, if we have 3 or more attractions, we draw a card and lose 1 life, giving us card advantage, you know what I'm saying? And Quick Fixer, although I'm not that quick in the bedroom. 3 mana, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, open an attraction. Now that's enough about attractions, except for Soul Swindler, as when it has visited an attraction this turn, it's indestructible. Enters, opens an attraction. Now that's enough about attraction. What about True Love's Kiss, dear? It's 4 mana, exile target artifact or enchantment. Get it out of here, I don't like it. Draw a card. Good, it replaces itself. We've also got Change of Heart. 1 white mana with buyback, making target creature not attack this turn. So if someone is swinging something scary at you, you say, no, I don't want it. Then, of course, take Heart, give something, a little bit stronger, and we gain life for each attacking creature we have. And Darling, of course we have plenty of creatures. Secret Rendezvous, of course I put it in the deck. It is 1 and 2 white. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards. Then, of course, maybe we take it up a notch. A wedding invitation, dearie, or perhaps a wedding announcement between you and I. Beginning of our end step, we put an invitation counter on this enchantment. If we attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn, we draw a card. Otherwise, we make a 1/1 white human creature token, a little baby of ours. Then if we have 3 or more invitations, we transform it. I won't go into it. Wedding ring, though, if you've done a very good job. 4 mana, you get a wedding ring. Enters the battlefield, we cast it, target opponent makes a token copy of it. If they have a wedding ring, we draw a card, they draw a card. If they gain life, we gain life, etc., etc. Then, of course, we're together forever. Divorce does not exist in the undeath. It's 2 mana. When it enters support 2, we can pay 1, choose target creature with a counter on it. When that creature dies this turn, return that card. We can cycle and loop things. Have any other questions for me? A date with me, darling. That would make my evening. Although we do have a bit of a curfew, I have to be back before sunrise. I hope that's all right. I had an absolutely wonderful time. Thank you so much. I enjoyed our time at the haunted house and the swinging ship. And although I'm a vampire and not a skeleton, I'm still down to jump your bones, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, hello there. Welcome to the forest. Got any questions for me? Well, I'm green. I love big mana and stompy creatures and violence and other stuff. Yeah. Got any other questions? What cards do I like? Well, I'm impartial to Petting Zookeeper. 3 mana opens an attraction when it enters the battlefield. I like little creatures and attraction between you and myself, you know what I'm saying. Squirrel Squatters also enters the battlefield and starts an attraction between you and me. And whenever it attacks, create a 1/1 green squirrel that's tapped and attacking for each attraction we visited, so it gives us a bit of a board space, and I like that. Speaking of coming attraction, usually the attraction happens before the coming, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway. 3 mana gets a land card onto the battlefield, and we open an attraction. That's pretty sweet. Then, of course, we got Spinneret Arachnobat. Sorry, bit of a mouthful on that one. 5 mana enters the battlefield, we open an attraction. They got reach. As long as we've got 3 or more attractions, it's a bit stronger. It's a blocker, it makes stuff. I like it. Then, of course, a bit of a different one. We've got Defense of the Art. It's 4 mana. During our upkeep, if our opponents have more stuff than us, we sacrifice Defense of the Heart, find our 2 favorite creatures, and put them into play. That's pretty broken, to be honest. And then we got Last Night Together. 5 mana. We're going to choose those 2 creatures from Defense of the Heart, and then untap them, put 2/+1 counters on them. Then they gain Vigilance, Indestructible, Haste until end of turn. And then after this main phase, there's an additional combat phase. So only the chosen creatures can attack. I like it. It's sort of like romantic. They're on a date, you know what I'm saying? And there's Love Struck Beast. Like me, I'm a bit of a Love Struck Beast, right? It's 3 mana. It can't attack unless we've got a little 1/1. And we can get Heart's Desire. It's sort of like telling your people that, you know, you're kind of down to clown. Then, of course, finally, I'm a big hugger. So we got Gaia's Embrace, Nature's Embrace, Verdant Embrace. I like to hug, what can I say? You got any other questions for me? Go on a date with you? Well, you know what they say. Love is in Nick's bloom. You see what I did there? Because it's like a pun with yeah. Hey, listen, I've had a great time tonight playing Pick-a-Beeble with you. It's the only attraction in Commander that has a prize, so it works with me most dangerous gamer card, allowing me to destroy target permanents, which could be commanders or other stuff. And I like destroying stuff. I'm green, baby, yeah. You know it. All right, well, you did really good on the date, so here's a kiss from me. All right, fade to black now. We did it.
Well, hello there. It is I, Joda, the Unifier. You can tell because I have a weird purple thing around my neck. Anyway, it's at this point you're probably wondering, after all those lovely dates you just went on, how does this deck actually win? Well, obviously, with attractions like Ferris Wheel, which can phase out an enemy commander, or Hall of Mirrors, which can make other creatures a copy of perhaps me, Joda, the Unifier, or other value creatures. There's also Concession Stand, which makes a food token so we never die. But of course, the best part is with Myra the Magnificent, we can then turn those attractions into what I like to call kissing booths, with Kiss of Death, or Last Kiss, which deal damage to our opponents or their creatures and gain us life. And then, of course, we can also play a game with them, where they each lose 3 life and we gain 3 life, eventually draining our opponents out thanks to our fun attractions. What's not to like? But if that's not quite your style, thankfully, we have grinding. There's always grinder. We've got Grindstone. 1 mana, we can pay 3 to tap and make an opponent put the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, and if they share at least 1 color, repeat this process. Then there's Grind Clock, which is 2 mana. We can tap it and put a charge counter on it, and tap it again to have a target player put the top X cards of their library into their graveyard, eventually milling them out
And then, of course, finally, grinding station. If you know what I'm saying, you can sack an artifact and make target player put the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard, draining them out. And of course, our attractions, of course, count as artifacts coming into play, which can untap the grinding station and let us do it all over again. But that does bring us to the end of the video. So if you liked it, leave a like. If you subscribe, subscribe. If you want to support me on Patreon, it is linked in the description down below. I very much would appreciate it. It keeps the lights on and it keeps me filled with fun ideas like this. And of course, there is a Discord. It's free, linked in the description down below. And if you have a weird, wacky, silly, goofy idea like this, challenge me in the comments down below. The one with the most upvotes, I have to build. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out. And thanks again to Boot Dev for sponsoring this video.